A Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist at the New York Times has written 2 articles on the independent analyst. Gretchen Morgenson's articles have shown how Wall Street analysts sometimes recommend stocks as they are selling the very same securities. While Gretchen Morgenson was receiving her Pulitzer Prize in 2002, then Attorney General Eliot Spitzer was pressuring 10 leading investment banks to sign the Wall Street Global Settlement. This agreement included over $400 million for independent research and was designed to stop investment banks from pressuring analysts to recommend investment banking clients. The Securities and Exchange Commission tried to prevent research analysts from fraudulently recommending investment banking clients by passing Regulation AC. This regulation required analysts to sign attestation statements which held them legally responsible for their investment recommendations. In the case of the independent analyst, he was trying to stop recommending an investment banking client because that company's stock price had just exceeded the analyst's target price. When the investment bank refused to let him lower his research rating, he asked to have his name removed from coverage of the company because he had signed a legally binding attestation statement which said, "I hereby certify that the views expressed in this research report accurately reflect my personal views about the subject company and its securities." The analyst sent 2 emails to the head of compliance at the investment bank asking to have his name removed from coverage. Instead, the investment bank fired the analyst 2 days after they learned that these emails had been reported to Congress. The investment bank continued to use the analyst's name to recommend the investment banking client to investors for 2 weeks after they had fired the analyst. One of Gretchen Morgenson's articles quoted the investment bank's chairman as saying that the analyst had, quote, "gone too far this time," end quote, when he reported the emails to Congress. Gretchen Morgenson thought the investment bank had gone too far this time and wrote an article entitled, "Did Wall Street Really Learn Its Lesson?" A recent Time magazine cover story asked Americans what they thought about Wall Street, and 75% of Americans agreed with Gretchen Morgenson that Wall Street had not learned its lesson and it remained business as usual. So what should be done? An obvious place for regulators to start dealing with current market problems is by enforcing the regulations passed after the last stock market crash in 2000. Since the SEC passed Regulation AC in 2003, there have been no enforcement actions taken on this regulation. In the case of the independent analyst, the SEC investigated but decided not to prosecute the investment bank. Since even inaction creates precedents, maybe the lesson that Wall Street investment banks have learned from Chris Cox's term as SEC chairman is that they will not be prosecuted if they refuse to let research analysts lower their ratings on investment banking clients, or don't allow analysts to have their names removed from coverage, or fire analysts when they report regulatory violations to Congress, and that they can continue to use an analyst's name to recommend investment banking clients even after they have fired the analyst.